Good morning, students. Welcome to our online class. This is your second period and the subject is economics. Students, today through this recorded mode class, I am going to complete the remaining part of chapter 9, that is Environment and Sustainable Development, from the unit 3 book 2, that is Indian Economic Development. So students, watch this video carefully, listen to my lecture with a lot of attention for better understanding of the concept. Students, in the previous period we have completed up to the Chipko or Apiko movement, which we studied, that is the movement which was started in Karnataka in the forests of Salkani in the district of Sarsi district. So there one movement started, that is Apiko movement, which means hug. How the 160 people, women, men and children, hugged the trees and prevented them from the forest cutting or felling of trees by the contractors. Moreover, they kept a lot of vigilance in their forests. They also appealed to the forest officials and contractors that within the reach of 100 meters of the water bodies, trees should not be felled. In the slope areas, those slopes which are in 30 degrees, there also trees should not be felled. In this way, they protected around 12,000 trees in that area and the neighboring districts. So this Apiko movement helped in what? Conservation of forest wealth, and helps in maintaining ecological balance, and helps in protecting environment. So now we are moving to another important topic, that is Pollution Control Board. Yesterday this reference came, pollution control boards. These pollution control boards are primarily responsible to control all types of pollutions. The pollution control boards are primarily responsible to control all types of pollutions that are there in the country. Air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, land pollution, water pollution, all these pollutions are taking place in the country. So it is the responsibility of the pollution control board to check these pollutions and to provide some scientific guidelines that how this pollution can be controlled. Even the officials who are working in these pollution control boards, they are going area to area, finding out how the pollution is caused, who are the causers. They are educating them, alarming them. Several acts were passed by this pollution control board. If people are not strictly following them, even they are legally punished also. Legal punishment also there. So pollution control boards, listen. In order to address two major environmental concerns in India, in order to address the two major environmental concerns in India, that is water pollution and air pollution. In order to control the two major pollutions in India, that is water pollution and air pollution, the government of India set up the Central Pollution Control Board in 1974. I repeat, in order to address the two important environmental concerns in India, such as water pollution and air pollution, the central government of India appointed the Central Pollution Control Board in 1974. Later the same is followed by the states. Every state also established their own state pollution control board. Here CPCD means Central Pollution Control Board and SPCD means State Pollution Control Board. So both the State Pollution Control Board and the Central Pollution Control Board are working in order to control the various pollutions that are taking place in the country in order to protect the environment. These pollution control boards, they will investigate. They investigate and collect and disseminate information. These pollution control boards, they will do investigation and collect and disseminate information relating to water, air and land pollution and lay down standards for sewage, trade effluent and emissions. These pollution control boards provide technical assistance. These pollution control boards provide technical assistance to the government, in promoting cleanliness of streams and wells by prevention, control and abatement of water pollution and improve the quality of air and to prevent and control or abate air pollution in the country. That means the Central Pollution Control Board, State Pollution Control Board, they are working to control all types of pollutions. They investigate, collect, disseminate information to the government. They provide technical assistance to the government that how to control the pollution, what measures and methods to be adopted to control air pollution, water pollution, etc. etc. These boards also carry out and sponsor investigation. These pollution control boards also carry out and sponsor investigations and research relating to problems of water and air pollution and for their prevention and control or abatement. Next one, they also organize through mass media a comprehensive mass awareness programs. These pollution control boards also organizes several awareness promoting schemes. These central and state pollution control boards, they organize several mass level these awareness programs through media or through other ways. The pollution control boards prepare manuals. They'll prepare some manuals. They prepare some manuals and codes and guidelines. These pollution control boards will prepare some manuals, some codes and some guidelines relating to treatment and disposal of waste of sewage water and trade effluents. They assess the air quality through regulation of industries. These pollution control boards, they always keep an eye on the industries which are causing pollution, air pollution. So they always make some controls on the industries. In fact, state boards through their district level officials periodically inspect these industries all the time and they'll provide guidelines. If they're not following the guidelines, their industries will be closed. They'll give order to close these industries. So in this way, the pollution control boards collect, collate and disseminate technical and statistical data relating to the water pollution also. They monitor the quality of water. They monitor the quality of water in 125 rivers and their tributaries in India. They also monitor wells, lakes, creeks, ponds, tanks, drains and canals. And they'll check how this water is polluted, how to control the pollution, how to clean the tanks, etc. So pollution control boards are working to control pollutions. Now we'll move to our important topic, that is sustainable development. What is meant by sustainable development? Students, this term you might have heard in class 10th also and other classes also. What is meant by sustainable development? Why it is necessary in the present situation? Let us see. Now, sustainable development. The sustainable development is a new concept for us. It emerged after 1992 or in 1992 it was emerged. The word sustainable development we started hearing from 1992 onwards, June 1992 onwards. Before that, we have no idea about this word. We heard only development. Okay, now, students, environment and economy both are very closely related. I repeat once again, environment and economy of a country are very closely related and both are interdependent. Environment and economy are interdependent and related to each other and need each other. They need each other. Hence, development that ignores the repercussions, of the environment will destroy the environment that sustains life forms. That means, whenever you adopt any developmental activities in the country, ignoring the environment, whenever you adopt any developmental activities in the country by ignoring the environment, definitely it will have repercussions, adverse effects. And these adverse effects not only will affect environment but also all the living forms in the environment. Now, what is needed then? So today we need sustainable development. We cannot stop development. If we stop development, the country's growth will not be there. So there should be development, but it should be sustainable way. Clear? So today the need of the hour is for sustainable development. Now, what is it, sustainable development? Now, the meaning. What is sustainable development? Sustainable development is that which allow all future generations. Listen carefully. Sustainable development is that development that will allow all future generations to have a potential average quality of life that is at least as high as that which is being enjoyed by the current generation. I repeat, development is must. Without development, a country's progress is impossible. But we should bring the development through sustainable manner. Now, what is sustainable development? Sustainable development means what? Development that will allow all future generations. Development that will allow all future generations to have a potential average quality of life that is at least as high as which is being enjoyed by the current generations. Which we are enjoying. The concept of sustainable development first used on June 1992 in the Earth Summit held at Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, which is a country in African continent. So in the Earth Summit, that summit was called by UNO, United Nations. So in the UNCED, United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNCED, United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. So this conference was held in 1992 June. The Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. There the first time this word sustainable development was used. There around 130 countries met, all the heads of the countries met there. They discussed the problem of pollution. They discussed how the developmental activities in all the countries are leading to affect the environment. How environment is getting damaged day by day. So what could be done in order to prevent this adverse effects on environment, how we can control them. So they also discussed, see, we can't stop development. If we stop development, the world will not progress, countries will not progress. So what to do? So people, they gave their ideas, they put their ideas in their conference, and they said that now onwards we will try to achieve sustainable development. Development without harming the environment. development without harming the present environment we have to do. So okay, I can say the concept sustainable development was emphasized by the United Nations Conference on Environment Development, UNCED, which it defined as listen, now that conference UNCED defined the sustainable development in this way: development that meets the needs of the present generation, development that should meet the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. I mean, we should meet our needs. At the same time, the coming future generation should also meet their needs. So if we want that future generation also could meet their needs, then we should not harm the environment. Okay, we should hand over this environment as it is without damaging to the coming generations. Then only they can enjoy. Okay, so according to UNCD, sustainable development is that development that meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. Okay, in this definition, two words, one word and one phrase is stressed again and again. That is needs. Needs of all the people. Needs of all the people. Second one, future generations. So, here needs means all the people in the world should be able to meet their needs. They should be capable to meet their needs. They should easily access the needs. They should easily access all the resources. And our future generations also should meet all the needs for their life. So we should take more care about that one. Now, the seminal report is made. The seminal report on our common future. This is one book. Our common future. Our common future is one of the book written at the time. So that gave the above definition, explained sustainable development as meeting the basic needs of all. Meeting the basic needs of all and extending to all the opportunities to satisfy their aspirations for a better life. Now, Edward Barbier, he defined sustainable development as one which is directly concerned with that increasing the material standard of living of the poor at the grassroots level. This can be quantitatively measured in terms of increased income, real income, educational services, healthcare, sanitation, water supply, etc., etc. Okay. Now the question is how we could achieve sustainable development. How we could achieve sustainable development in our countries, India, China, Japan, America, France. How they could achieve sustainable development. Okay, that we will discuss later. Now, one important commission is the Brundtland Commission. Very, very important. What? Brundtland Commission. B-R-U-N-D-T-L-A-D. Brundtland Commission. This Brundtland Commission was appointed in 1987. It was appointed in 1987. It emphasizes on protecting the future generations. The Brundtland Commission, which was appointed in 1987, its main aim is to protect the future generations. This is in the line with the argument of environmentalists who emphasize that we have a moral obligation. It is our moral responsibility. It is the moral responsibility of the present generation that they should work to protect their future generations. According to Brundtland Commission, which was appointed in 1987, it traces how to prevent the future generations. Okay, here some of the environmentalists, they says that it is the moral responsibility of the present generation to prevent and protect the future generations. And how can we protect them? By protecting the environment without spoiling it, and also by not damaging the environment, but by not using the over exploitation of resources, etc. Okay. Next, At least we should leave the next generation a stock of quality of life. It's a moral responsibility that we should leave a stock of quality of life to the next generations. Assets not less than what we have inherited. I mean, what we have inherited from the future, what we have inherited from our forefathers, our elders, what we have inherited from our elders or forefathers, the same thing we should also hand it over to the future generations. The thing which we enjoyed, the same thing should be enjoyed by the future generations. Okay. The present generation can promote development. Yes, we have to develop. Otherwise, our future generations, they will not enjoy their life. So, we have to achieve development. So, the present generation can promote development that enhances the natural, that enhances the natural and build environment in ways that are compatible with the conservation of natural assets, prevention of the regenerative capacity of the world's natural ecological system, avoiding the imposition of added cost or risk on future generations. Now, according to Herman Daly, remember one famous environmental economist. One famous environmental economist, his name is what? Herman Daly, a leading environmental economist. To achieve sustainable development, he said, the following things has to be followed. To achieve sustainable development, the following things has to be followed. That is, limiting the human population. First of all, we have to limit the human population. We have to control the population growth. Okay. Second one, he said that limiting the human population to a level within the carrying out capacity to the environment. How much the environment can carry, that much capacity population only should be there. Environment has to carry the population. So, the population should be within the limits. The carrying capacity of the environment is like a plimsoll line of the ship, which is it loads limit mark. Okay. At the same time, second he said that technological progress should be input efficient and not output consuming. This Herman Daly said that technological progress is needed. Yes, of course, technological progress is needed, but the technological process or progress, should be input efficient but not output consuming. Okay. Third, he said renewable resources should be extracted on a sustainable basis. All the renewable resources which are there in the country should be extracted on a sustainable basis. Okay. The rate of extraction should not exceed the rate of consumption. Or I can say, here the rate of extraction should not exceed the rate of regeneration. The rate of extraction of mineral resources, should not exceed the rate of regeneration. You should take care of that one. We should use that much which we can generate. Similarly, the last one, for non-renewable resources, the rate of depletion should not exceed the rate of creation. For non-renewable resources, the rate of depletion, the rate of wastage should not exceed the rate of creation. So in this way, 4 years given. One more I am telling. Inefficiencies arising from pollution should be corrected. Inefficiencies that are arising due to pollution should be corrected. So you give 5 points. One is, that is limiting the human population. We should maintain that much population which can be carried with the environment. Similarly, technological process or progress should be in input form, not an output consumption. Similarly, renewable resources should be extracted in a sustainable manner. The rate of extraction should not be exceed to the rate of regeneration. Similarly, for the non-renewable resources, the depletion rate should not exceed the rate of creation. And the last one, the inefficiencies that are arising in the pollution should be corrected. Now, coming to the last topic, that is strategies for sustainable development. What strategies? What are the methods? What are the strategies or what are the methods to be adopted, what are the strategies or what are the methods to be adopted in order to achieve sustainable development so that the environment should not be harmed, so that our future generations should live happily. Okay, so what strategies, what methods to be adopted to achieve sustainable development? So here he gave here strategies for achieving sustainable development, which helps in preventing environment. At the same time, there will be development. At the same time, the future generations should live happily. We can hand over the environment as it is to the coming generation. All things are possible. So when they are possible, when this dream is possible, when we can hand over the environment as it is to the coming generation, when our future generations can live happily, when the environment cannot be damaged. So they are mentioned in the strategies. So the following are the strategies to achieve sustainable development. Number 1, use of non-conventional sources of energy. Use of non-conventional sources of energy. Here non-conventional sources of energy means coal, petroleum, natural gas. Okay, these are what? I'm sorry. Here petroleum, coal, natural gas, these are conventional source of energy. And these conventional source of energy always causes what? Lot of pollution. Moreover, they are non-renewable. They are easily exhaustible. I repeat, coal, petroleum, natural gas and all types of fossil fuels, they comes under the category of conventional source of energy. These conventional sources of energy, their quantities are limited, finite, and moreover, when we use them, they will what? They will cause a lot of pollution. Moreover, they will be exhausted. They cannot be regenerated. So that's why here it says that instead of using the conventional sources of energy, we should use the non-conventional sources of energy. Here non-conventional sources of energy such as here wind energy, tidal energy, solar energy, biogas, biomass, okay, geothermal energy, these we should use. Instead of using coal, petroleum, natural gas, the fossil fuels which are their quantities are limited, they are exhausted, they are non-renewable, they cause a lot of pollution, we should use non-renewable sources of energy to meet our needs. Every day we need power. We can meet the need of power through solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, biogas, biomass, geothermal energy, etc. So, at the same time, suppose when you use this conventional source of energy, suppose we are using conventional source of energy, what will happen? They will cause air pollution, they cause water pollution, okay, there will be harm on environment, okay. So, better to use non-conventional source of energy instead of conventional source of energy to attain sustainable development. Second one, LPG gobar gas in rural areas. LPG and gobar gas, okay, in rural areas. See, India is a land of villages. The number of villages are more. And in rural areas, in villages, generally people are using what? Forest wood as fuel. And wood as fuel. They are using what? Forest wood as fuel and also using cow dung cake as fuel in domestic needs. That is, all the rural people, village people, they are using fuel, forest fuel, and also the cow dung cake for what? As a source of energy in their houses. When you use forest fuel, when you use wood from the forest, it leads to deforestation. We will miss the green lush. We will miss the green, the lush green forests. If all the people they cut the trees and plants for firewood, for fuel purpose, so a day will come we will lose the lush green forests and plants. Similarly, the cow dung cake we are using as a fuel. If you use cow dung cake, it causes what? Lot of air pollution. Okay, so what it is advised that instead of using that fuel, firewood fuel and cow dung cake, we should use LPG gas and you should use gobar gas. How gobar gas can be used? By setting up gobar gas plants. By establishing gobar gas plants, we can generate gobar gas, and with the help of gobar gas, you can cook food, and also we can blow the bulbs. And the gobar gas plants also needs what? Gobar. I mean that cow dung. This cow dung can be made into liquid and should be used 2-3 buckets. Okay, then the gas will be formed, and with that gas we will get some energy. That energy used as a fuel as well as blowing the lights. And the leftover part, the byproduct of that gobar gas, the gobar gas, it can be used for manure also. So we can use manure, and we can generate gas also with the help of this gobar cow dung, instead of using the dry cow dung as a fuel. Similarly, now the government is providing what? LPG gas at subsidized rates. Lot of subsidy. The government is giving lot of subsidy. The LPG gas connections are given to the rural people at subsidiary rate, less price. Similarly, those people who want to start the gobar gas plant in the rural areas, for them also the government is giving loans at subsidiary rate, less rate of interest. So if you use the LPG gas which is provided by the government at subsidiary rate, and if you set up the gobar gas plant to generate energy for cooking and blowing lights, electricity, so we can save the forest, we can also save air pollution, and we can use that gobar for gas generation and also as a manure. Next one, CNG in urban areas. You know, vehicles, all motor vehicles, 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, 4-wheeler. Okay, all these vehicles, they are releasing carbon dioxide gas because they are running with the help of diesel and petrol. So diesel and petrol also comes under fossil fuels. So when the fossil fuels will burn naturally, smoke will be released, which causing air pollution. So it is said that the CNG gas, compressed natural gas, the compressed natural gas, CNG gas, okay, should be used in vehicles also, so that we can control the air pollution. We can control pollution from the vehicles. This CNG gas is used in many, Delhi, many autos, many cars are running with the help of CNG gas. Okay, now vehicles are coming which are running with the help of solar energy also. Fine, wind power. So in India, we are having a lot of potential for wind power generation. Gujarat, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, Nagarkol is a place. In Tamil Nadu, Nagarkol is a place, and in Gujarat and Rajasthan, favorable conditions are there where we can generate wind energy. So very simple, we have to install that wind vanes, the windmills. The windmills will rotate, then it will create some energy. With that energy we can convert into electricity energy, and that energy can be used in all the way in industries, transportation, domestic, etc., etc. So we have lot of potential of generating wind energy, wind power, and the favorable states are Gujarat, Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu. Similarly, here solar energy through photovoltaic cells. Yes, you might have seen solar panels. Many schools, many colleges, many houses, many industries are running with the help of solar panels. Some street lights also running through, blowing through solar panels. How? Actually, our India is located in tropical zone. And in tropical zone, the sun rays are more. We can receive more solar rays, sun rays. India is located in tropical zone. And in tropical, since India is a tropical country, we can easily tap the sun rays. Sun rays are more in this tropical region in our country, India. So, it is advised to all, instead of using the conventional source of energy resources, we should set up the solar panels, photovoltaic cells to tap the sun rays, sun energy. These photovoltaic cells are responsible to convert the solar energy into electrical energy, and that energy can be used in everywhere in domestic houses, industries, transportation, etc., etc. Now, so the solar energy is also one of the non-conventional source of energy which will not cause any pollution. Only initial investment will be more, but later this the maintenance cost will be very less. Mini hydel power plants. You know, in India we are having different physiographic conditions. We are having mountains, hills, plains, plateaus, deserts, etc. So there are so many hills are there in Himalayan mountain ranges, in central India, and also in Western Ghats. So it is suggested that some mini hydro power plants can be established in those areas, hilly areas. Okay, in hilly areas we can establish some hydro power plants. Here hydro power plants means what? Those power plants which can generate energy with the help of water. Hydro means what? Water. Hydro power, the power generated through water. So in India we are having several favorable locations in Himalayan mountain ranges, in central India, in Vindhya Satpura ranges, and also in Western Ghats, where we can easily set up at least the mini hydropower plants where we can fix turbines, and when the water will fall from top to bottom on the turbines will rotate. We are having number of rivers, number of waterfalls we are having. So whenever water is falling from top to bottom, in the bottom area if you fix the turbines, when the turbines rotate, the power will be generated and the power can be used everywhere, domestic, industries, agriculture and transportation. Similarly, here traditional knowledge of practices. My dear students, actually our ancient people or our forefathers, they always adopted eco-friendly methods either in doing agriculture or in treatment of disease, anything. Actually our ancient people, they are the component of environment but not the controller. The people, our forefathers, our ancestors, they are the component of environment, not the controller. They always obeyed and respected the nature, environment. They always used eco-friendly methods of methods in all their works, either in agriculture system, healthcare system, housing system, transportation system. And then bullock carts are there, tongas are there, which are not causing any pollution. Agriculture, at that time agriculture is done slash or burn agriculture. Similarly, housing, they used this thatched houses or that slate houses. Similarly, they treated the number of diseases through Ayurveda. So here, if you use all those old methods, eco-friendly methods, naturally we are protecting our environment. We are protecting our environment, controlling environment. For example, you know, Ayurveda, Unani, Tibetan and folk systems. Ayurveda, Unani, Tibetan and folk systems. These are the methods of treatment of what? Several diseases. Healthcare, we can take our health, we can protect health from all these systems. Similarly, at that time, we could prevent so many plant species, animal species. But today, due to this greediness, due to increase in population, what we are doing? We are harming the environment. As a result, we are losing the valuable tree species and animal species. Okay. At that time, see, at that time we are using what? Instead of brush, plastic brush, we are using what? Datun. We are using charcoal powder. We are using that salt and that mustard oil, toothpaste, hair oil, okay, face cream. All we are using what? Natural things. Nowadays also the Patanjali, they are telling about they are using all herbal, natural things, which will not causing any damage to our body. So we should use traditional practice and knowledge. Okay, next one, biocomposting. See, nowadays agriculture is practiced with the help of chemical fertilizers. Lot of chemicals are used in order to increase agriculture production. So whenever you are using excess chemical fertilizers, then the land is being degraded. The soil is losing its fertility. Okay, the earthworms are dying. So what is said here? Biocompost. I mean the domestic waste which we are getting in everyday in our houses, and the dead and decay vegetables, all should be, I mean, dumped in a one pit, and we can what? Make compost, biocompost. This biocompost can be used as what? As a manure for what? Agriculture purpose. So that we can do agriculture through organic methods, and we grow the when you grow the agriculture through organic method, then whatever production we are making, I mean here pulses, food grains, vegetables, fruits, so they will be in good quality, they will not be contaminated, then they will not have any ill effect on our health. So better, I should suggest, we should use compost, organic compost, biocompost in agriculture, so that the production will not be contaminated. Fruits, vegetables, food grains will not be contaminated. They will not have ill effects on our health. So instead of using chemical fertilizers, we should use biocompost. It can be measured easily. Similarly, biopest control. See, today pesticides are used in agriculture to control pests, to kill some insects. When you are using these pesticides in agriculture, it leads to air pollution, leads to water pollution, leads to land pollution, and they are having impact on our health also. So here it is suggesting that in ancient times, people are using various methods to control pests. For example, they are keeping animals, rats, okay, bandicoots, snakes, eagles, because they are eating all these pests. But today eagles are not there. We are eating the bandicoots. So actually there are so many methods are there to control pests, making sounds, allowing the snakes, allowing the bandicoots, rats, eagles. So they will prey. They will prey on this worms, pests. They will kill them. For example, you know, here lizards they eat small insects. So peacocks prey on what? Vermin and pests. Similarly, this rats, they will eat small insects. So automatically the nature already created that pests can be controlled by some other animals, but we killed those animals. Now these pests are left. Now how to kill this pest? By using pesticides. When you are using pesticides, they are having ill effect on our what? Body, our environment, air pollution, water pollution, land pollution. So better we should not use chemical pesticides. We should use what? The other methods, how to control pests in our agriculture. Now, sustainable development has become a catchphrase today, or catchy phrase today. Sustainable development has become a catchy phrase today. It is indeed a paradigm shift in development thinking. I mean, we have to do development. We have to bring development. But the development should be in a sustainable manner. Though it has been interrupted in a number of ways, adherence to this path ensures lasting development and non-declining welfare for all. So in this way, students, this lesson is completed. That's chapter 9, environment and sustainable development. Next, in the next period, I will move to unit 4, the last unit of this book, Indian Economic Development. The last unit of this book, Indian Economic Development, I will go, and the unit name is what? Developmental or Development Experiences of India. Developmental Experiences of India and a comparison with our neighbors. So that is unit 4, Development Experiences of India, a comparison with our neighbors. We will compare with China, we will compare with Pakistan, that how the development is in India and other two countries. So this unit will start in the next period. Till then, take care. Thank you. Students, I am sending you this chapter notes and the previous chapter notes. Please write down in your notebook and read the question answers. Okay, I am sending notes also. This chapter and previous chapter. Thank you, students.